Greetings, Elder Blacklight. Now, this is urgent, and you know that I'm a cool guy because a general can't get excited, can't get emotional. He must be rational, and he must be fearless. See, us older guys are the general because we done been through the fire. Now, this is what's happening. Take it or leave it. Two things are developing that might not be 2020's elections, a presidential election. Trump is using reopening the city, reopening the country as a tactic. Now, you're going to this is only for my black people. This don't concern Caucasians. I don't care if they say we in it together. But it's your people that created this virus. Your people are always creating weapons of mass destruction to conquer the planet. Now you want to go out in space and be the first out there and use Star Wars or Space Wars to control the people. There's no freedom, justice, and equality in you, only corruption. So I don't never trust you, and I could tell your language. I know how you talk. Not only that, this could be a way to get a vaccine in on you. You don't know what's in the vaccine. And if you don't take it, they're going to quarantine you, ship you away, or whatever, or force feed the vaccine in you. A lot of my people already got softened up. They already are soft, ready to bow down. They say they're Christians, they say they're Muslims, but their God is this Caucasian. Now check this out.
Reopen before cases drop.
I feel if that occurs, there is a real risk that you will trigger an outbreak that you may not be able to control, which in fact, paradoxically, will set you back, not only leading to some suffering and death that could be avoided, but could even set you back on the road to trying to get economic recovery.
Fauci said the virus is still not contained, a point underscored by the sight of 4 of the nation's top health officials and many senators attending the hearing remotely, accompanied only by their dogs. The White House revealed today that President Trump and Vice President Pence are now distancing from one another after both came in contact with infected staffers.
I find our testing record nothing to celebrate whatsoever.
The president's task force took heat from both sides today.
The death rate in the United States, especially when compared with other nations, is unacceptable, isn't it?
FDA Commissioner Stephen Hahn.
Senator, I completely agree with you that this is an opportunity for us to take a look and determine how we can do things better.
President Trump struck a more triumphant tone yesterday.
We have met the moment, and we have prevailed.
And yet an unreleased FEMA report found that infection rates in early May surged by more than 70% in cities like Des Moines, Iowa, and Nashville, Tennessee, where businesses just began reopening yesterday.
But in other parts of the country, we are seeing spikes.
But with unemployment hovering at 15%, Fauci's cautious stance did not go over well with Kentucky Republican Rand Paul.
And as much as I respect you, Dr. Fauci, I don't think you're the end all. I don't think you're the one person that gets to make a decision. We can listen to your advice, but there are people on the other side saying there's not going to be a surge and that we can safely open the economy.
I have never made myself out to be the end all and only voice in this. And we don't know everything about this virus. And we really better be very careful, particularly when it comes to children. Because the more and more we learn, we're seeing things about what this virus can do that we didn't see from the studies in China or in Europe. At least 8 candidate COVID-19 vaccines in clinical development. The NIH has been collaborating with a number of pharmaceutical companies at various stages of development. I will describe one very briefly, which is not the only one, but one that we have been involved in heavily developing with Moderna. It's a messenger RNA platform. You might recall in this committee that in January of this year, I said that it would take about 1 year to 18 months if we were successful in developing a vaccine. The NIH trial moved very quickly. On January 10th, the sequence was known. On January the 11th, the Vaccine Research Center met to develop a plan. On the 14th of January, we officially started the vaccine development. 62 days later, we are now in phase 1 clinical trial with the 2 doses already fully enrolled. There will be animal safety. The phase 1 will directly go into phase 2-3 in late spring and early summer. And if we are successful, we hope to know that in the late fall and early winter. There are some important issues, however, in COVID-19 vaccine development. We have many candidates and hope to have multiple winners. In other words, it's multiple shots on goal. This will be important because this will be good for global availability if we have more than one successful candidate.
So Sirius and the rise of the original people. I did a class called The Real RBG, and we're going to go into that. Sirius and the rise of the original people, because it doesn't signify for us our end. We are melanin dominant people. We absorb this ultraviolet radiation. So it's not our end. Sirius and the rise of the original people. The real RBG. This is the real RBG. The red blood cell, the melanocyte or melanin, and chlorophyll. This is the real RBG right here. And we're going to discuss how this is going to work, particularly in this day and time as we are moving closer and receiving more star radiation in our environment.
Now you see those troops, those soldiers. Recently has been maneuvers in Los Angeles, even here, even in Flint, different parts of the country. There's been military maneuvers, planes flying in recent years. Just before Nipsey Hussle got assassinated, and there's been chemtrails, there's been killer wasps or hornets or whatever that big thing is that kill bumblebees and honeybees and even people. See, honey is the number one perfect food that cures all types of diseases. And then you got this right here. This is another one, but they're cutting it though. You know, it's not dark enough. You know, they're cutting it and charging more money. Black seed oil. And they got that raw honey, but they've been killing bees off. The whole thing is about the black man. And y'all know this, y'all can feel it. My brothers and sisters know what's going on. There's more of us on the planet, melanated people, And according to the teachers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the black, the red, the black, the brown, the red, and the yellow are all of the original nation. And we all are fighting amongst ourselves. You got them brothers on Sinetta fighting, arguing, when it's time to get real now.
From the 12th Street area now. The guardsmen gathered at the playground at Central High School.
At the request of Mayor Kavanaugh, we've made state police and National Guardsmen available to assist in dealing with what is a case of lawlessness and hoodlumism, and to protect the persons and property of people in the areas involved.
Governor, how would you describe the situation now?
Well, I've described the one of lawlessness, where there are roving groups of individuals who are looting and throwing rocks and creating difficulty and danger for individuals and damaging property. Now, there's apparently no organized effort here, and there's been no fighting between particular groups, but it's more a case of hoodlumism and lawlessness. And
would stop fine looting, and they would just march them from here 500 feet to the jail. They were quite brazen and didn't seem to really have any feeling of being caught or anything. As you can see here in the background is the county jail. Now they're going to march off these prisoners right into the county jail and police headquarters. They were just stopping them as fast as they were coming by.
And they were bringing in looters from all over the city at this time, by the bus.
Roaming, wandering around the streets. These were started by Molotov cocktails that was looted.
Yes, this jewelry store was looted first, then set on fire.
Larry Ward, you've covered a lot of multiple alarm fires. What would you call this one?